here's my base.
Blue team. Huh.
Blue team.
Can't see any of your inventories when I don't join your team or spectate. That's interesting.
Well,
yeah, there we go.
FTB utilities. Yeah, that one's the shock absorber waiting to turn in.
Yeah, you're a bit ahead of me there. I haven't actually built the Empower yet.
Over here, I've got the stuff I was using to make steel. I just decided to do it the manual way because I don't think we need to make a lot of steel. So, immersive engineering does it fine. I actually use this to make lava.
Yeah?
Yeah, I just stood there. I did that a whole bunch of times with blaze powder. And I switched to a button.
I swear that I looked in... Oh, where'd you get the blaze powder?
Magma cream.
Okay.
Magma cream goes into the centrifugal separator.
Right.
And becomes blaze powder. And then once you do that, see, you haven't seen my new system over here. Blaze powder is right here.
Mm-hmm.
And then behind that one, I have a compactor, which is automatically compacting up the blaze powder into blaze rods above it.
Oh, neat.
I have little machines behind. All the ones that are 3 high like this have a machine behind it doing something. So I've got some that are auto smelting from sand to glass, from clay to brick. Some that are automatically pulverizing, so that way I can do the mixtures like Envar and stuff very simply.
Mm-hmm. I like.
And then I took... Remember, you had said that you can make as many resource generators as you want, basically. Although that has updated, it's now capped at 4 million instead of 1 million.
What's that now?
The price went up to 4 million is the highest price for resource generators. But that's
good thing I made as many as I did when I did.
Yeah, it's still cheap. I mean, I got 62 million just sitting there.
Yeah, so, when you're chunk loading and doing the pack in a slow burn sort of way.
Yep. So, got tons of resources. Almost everything here is maxed out. I may have a few things that are still running because of the added pulverizers and stuff, but otherwise it's going just fine. Keeps me in resources.
Cool.
I can't wait for the drawer controllers to make everything easier to put away, which is very soon. And this is my mob spawner. I'm going to make it look nicer later, but
promises.
Yeah. It wasn't working when I came on. I don't know what's going on, but I've just got the fans pushing everything into the spikes over here. And
oh, well, I mean, right now it's got too much light, but that makes sense because you've got the power on.
Yeah, I turned it off briefly. Let's see if I turn it on. It was not spawning. Oh, well, now it spawns.
Yeah, now it's working great. Oh, that's a very clever usage of the fans and spikes. I tried for a while to get the fans and spikes to work in a way that I was happy with, and they just didn't. Clearly, you're more experienced and better at using those.
This probably took me 4 hours to put together.
Right. Yeah, I basically gave it an hour and decided, nope, done, I'm out. Couldn't take it anymore.
And then the spiders kept showing up, so I ended up extending it and putting another spike there. And so now that takes care of the spiders too.
Cool.
But the Endermen always disappear.
Yeah, so, they poof on taking damage, and the iron spikes do damage.
Yep. So I can't get them to stop. So I haven't been getting any ender pearls. I've just been getting what you see in this storage crate down here.
That was actually the issue that caused me to rebuild.
Okay. And then this I just finished right before we decided to do this. I'm collecting latex, and I'm using 1 piece of wood. Anytime that piece of wood moves, its damage value resets. So I have a piston moving it every once in a while.
Okay, and the sequencer is just your timer. Okay.
Yeah, it works better than the regular timer in RF tools. So I have the sequencer doing that. See, it's got its little damage value on it. You can see it's kind of partially hurt there, but that will reset whenever it moves over to the other side.
Neat.
So, yeah. And then these are just collecting it. I've got a I don't know if you noticed, but I as soon as we got access to Invar, I basically went and upgraded all of my machines to hardened versions. So the hardened tank holds a lot of liquid.
What is it, like 32?
How much does this one hold right now? I don't know. I can't see.
Right. If you shift right click it, it does things.
Oh, yeah, it does, doesn't it? That's...
I forget. I think that turns it from onto auto output or not. I don't remember for certain. But here, let me just. Now you can find out how much it holds by mousing over it in your inventory.
80 buckets.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, that's a lot more than I expected.
Yeah, so now I just gotta wait for the wood to come back. Or I can just shift it over there. That works too.
Yeah, lots of options.
That's actually the side I was going to put it on, but the wood was on this side at the time. So, yeah.
Yay, I helped.
Yeah, you helped. So yeah, this is working, and I don't have to keep feeding it wood. So
neat.
It's pretty cool. I like it.
I
Cheating
approve.
the system a little bit. Everything else is still manual over here, although I did find out that potatoes and carrots work in the resource generators.
That's adorably interesting.
Yeah. No,
that gives me an excellent, fantastic. Woohoo!
You're welcome.
I'm going to be abusing that. Yeah, we are. We are going to be abusing the heck out of that sometime real soon.
The ones that I want to work in there don't work in there, though. Like the wood and the sugar cane and the seeds.
Yeah, because carrots in a squeezer is 200 millibuckets of fruit juice and a 20% chance at malt. Actually, I think I can do even better than that, can't I? Maybe? Aw.
I just made the wheels start turning on PM. But otherwise, yeah, I've got the IC2 and forestry chest here that I hope I never have to touch again.
Yeah, that.
But otherwise,
trip to the bottom.
I did. I finished my second layer down here just to make sure that I don't die if I accidentally vein mine the top layer. And when I did that, I had a lot of leftover slabs, so I decided to look up recipes that use them, and these little floors from Ender Utilities use them. I thought they were cute.
I think I need to do something to your current setup.
Okay, what are you doing to my current setup?
You'll see. Don't worry. This is completely 100% necessary and needs to be done. Where's your... I don't know where all of your things are.
Depends on what you're looking for. I can tell you where it's at. I know where everything is.
But that'll spoil the surprise.
Okay.
There. Here we go. This has got to go.
No.
There you go.
Oh.
You're team blue, not team black.
That's the only color I had at the time. Well, thank you. I am now Team Blue. Yay! So how'd you like my little trick for my trees over here, by the way?
Well, I'm not certain what the trick is.
I put the logs in there because I needed to be able to get more saplings. But now I can do that. Oh, there was a
You can get me shot by a
hiding in there.
skeleton.
Die, skeleton. Okay. But, I mean, it's not perfect. It doesn't always get every single one of them, but it goes to the line of trees rather quickly.
Oh, yeah, that works pretty good.
Yep, except for when it doesn't. Got those few that hang out up there, but they normally disappear after I do this a few times. Oh, I just made it angry by not eating. So whenever I lay out the stuff, basically I just take because the saplings were coming a little too slow.
Okay.
Because whenever you put them right next to each other, they don't create as many saplings.
Yes, if they have a ton of time to grow.
Yeah, so...
You do like doing things by hand, don't you?
Yes, I do. In this particular case, I think it's fine because we don't need that much wood, especially since
Absolutely.
The latex thing, I kind of got rid of the reason to need wood for that one, so...
I mean, we don't need wood to make charcoal, and we don't need wood to make, you don't need wood to make latex, so you pretty much just use it for, chests and drawers and such, right?
Yeah, and then I had to use a lot to make the layer below, which is why I'm going ahead and replacing that with this. But yeah, then I just put the logs in between the things so I can hit it once and... Oops.
That also forces them to grow a bit taller.
Mess up. Fine. It's all fine. Okay. Yeah, and they grow a little bit taller.
Is your second layer anything but a death protection layer?
Nope. That's all it's for. And I made it high enough so I can handle doing wiring easily whenever I go below the system. Because I will do that at some point. I just enjoying what I got so far. But yeah, it's so I can reach for wiring just fine without having to be a bat because, we don't have that option.
And I see you've built yourself a portal park and a drop pool.
Yeah, I had that last time because I told you I stole that idea from you for the drop pool. I stole your idea.
It's a good idea.
Yes.
It's worth stealing.
It is a good idea. And now the sad part is I've got all this stuff in my inventory that I'm not going to be able to put away because my drawers fill up rather quickly after I pull a stack out of them. They get refilled really quick.
Oh, well, I mean, that's what the trash can's for.
Yes, that is what the trash can is for. But this has been working out really well. I'm very happy with this and with the, having as much stone as I want.
Now Team Blue Purple Ghost Cat.
And then whenever I turn that thing in over there, I've already got the 2 drawers that are set up for the diamonds and the silver. And I'll be able to take that silver and mix it with stuff and actually be able to do things like Electrum, which will make me happy.
Cool. I'm looking forward to silver. I'm looking forward to doing more automation of various resources. I've got, the basic... well, you'll see when we go check my place out.
Yep.
I can talk about it, or I can show you in a minute.
But I think that is about it for my side. I mean, I've got things that I have that you can't see at the moment. I have one of these and one of these.
Magnet ring and a reservoir? Yep.
Yeah, and it's the stronger reservoir for the the bigger one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've definitely had a bit of a rant about the lack of mechanism tanks on one video that's going up or went up, and then realized that reservoirs are a thing that exist.
And that's the bag I'm using, a satchel from Thermal Foundation.
Ooh, yeah, I should have been using that. Don't use the Tiny Progressions pouch.
Okay.
Just don't. It crashes so much.
The satchel can be upgraded, and it can also be enchanted with holding.
Right. So if you ever have it an enchanter, then yeah. And then presumably once it has holding, it just increases the size.
Yep. And then we can also, do the normal. Like the next one requires Electrum, which is why it's not already.
Mm-hmm. Now, once we get silver, once we get silver, you can do Electrum, and then once we get platinum, you can do once we get platinum, and you get ender pearls, I guess.
Yeah, ender pearls are pain at the moment.
But I'm not sure where we even get. Platinum comes with the crafting grid, which is, I believe, we were talking about doing the refined storage crafting grid as well as RF power and EU power as our next goals.
Yep, that's our next goals.
Because power generation on a server with chunk loading is something that pretty simple to do over the course of a week.
Yes.
That is true.
So I also think that it could be fun to set up enough of a power system that we all, generate the power relatively rapidly. But that's, I mean, that's on everybody's own enjoyment. We're doing it at this slow pace to do it for fun, right?
Yes.
Exactly.
Also, I think that there's a troll resource available for the resource generator.
Okay.
Ender dust.
Yes. I haven't figured out how to get any of that myself.
8 of them makes a pearl, which means I could just resource generate pearls, but haven't figured out the dust yet. I'm wondering if it's one of those hidden recipes.
It might be a hidden recipe, which I was sad to learn that those exist in this pack. It might also be something that you can get by actually going to the end and, doing stuff there, which I think I haven't been brave enough to do yet. I don't know about you.
I have not gone there because I didn't know if we wanted to set that as a thing we do together or just go whenever we want to.
Oh, yeah, we could totally try doing we get everybody together and go to the end for the first time at the same time, assuming Finn and Velgabor haven't already, terraformed their section of it.
Ha ha ha, no.
Have you all even
Do I look
been
like
in
a
there?
brave person?
So we're all cowards together. Fantastic.
Yes. All right. Well, that is it from my base. So I'm. I think we'll go see somebody else's.
I don't know why I'm running. I need to join Team Yellow, but that's why I was running, because being inside of Saffron is not okay. I did not consent to this. Excellent. Okay, so welcome to Team Yellow's base. I've got a large manual farm that's still here that I basically don't do anything with. It just kind of exists. If I ever need rice, I'll go grab it from here, I guess. We've got the grass spawning platform for animals, which is currently occupied solely by sheep. We need to murder some of those and, yeah, get back to that. I think that the most fun thing I've done since you were last here was set up the item laser relay storage system.
Ooh, lasers.
All of my resources generate from the resource generator. Each resource generator generates 4 different types of resources, and it cycles through even when there's nowhere to put it. So, like, for example, this one is currently doing obsidian, basalt, and marble. If you watch it for a minute, you can see that it does the obsidian, then it tries to do the marble and can't, then it does the basalt. You can see that happening on Wayla. And cool. The item interfaces basically let all of my drawers act like they're one giant inventory because they're all connected by lasers. So the resource generator outputs into whatever drawer is currently locked to that resource.
Okay, so you basically did a drawer controller without needing a drawer controller.
Yes, but it's got some fancy additions to it, and you can see one of them if you come downstairs with me. Because all of them act like one giant inventory, that also means that I can have these hopping item interfaces here, which are feeding iron or invar into my induction smelters, producing or iron or nickel, I'm sorry, into one of them, copper and nickel into the other, producing tons and tons and tons of invar and constantin. Though nice. Constantin seems to have backed up. I'm going to have to debug this. And over here, I've got a analog crafter, because I've discovered that doing it by induction furnaces and using the advanced item laser relays and the hopping interfaces is actually far more complicated than it needs to be, because you can just set up an item interface with servos that are whitelisting what you want to pull out of the system, and then a different servo feeding what in the result. So this analog crafter is set up to produce my bronze with copper and tin.
Nice. Yeah, I knew the Actual Editions laser system was powerful. I just haven't had a chance to play with it very much yet.
Yeah, I'm taking this pack as my opportunity to do so. It's pretty fantastic. Though the hopping item interfaces are of questionable value so far, I think that you might be best off sticking with the regular item interfaces if you try to use them. And if I need to, faster produce a single resource, I've got a couple of spare resource generators over here. For example, I've got one of them working on cobblestone because I've got a tower of compacting drawers that are connected by the super flat item transfer nodes that fit between blocks, and is slowly compressing my cobblestone up to septuple compressed cobblestone. It's so far generated 7 sextuple compressed cobblestones.
Nice.
That is a lot of cobblestone.
Yes, I have more cobblestone than I am ever likely to need. However, my goal is to get myself up to the octuple compressed eventually, and I want 1 resource generator spare for doing that, just so that I can put the top upgrades on it. What else do we got? All of this is basically just chaff from earlier that I haven't dealt with because I haven't needed any more latex or anything. I've got a lava generation system that feeds into a tank. Should upgrade that tank, actually.
Actually, additions lava.
Yep, I'm using the lava factory, and I'm using the fluid collector to collect the lava from that the factory produces. In fact, if I break that block, you can see the factory down there. Lava factory produces lava at 150,000 redstone flux per bucket and doesn't require any input. So it's both cheaper than and more resource effective than the thermal expansion magma crucible for the resources we currently have. If you get your hands on netherrack, then you're all set for producing cheap lava. Over here are my tree farms. Same idea on some of this. I'm using industrial foregoing tree farms. One of them is set up to grow me trees that produce saplings. The other one is set up to shear the leaves on the saplings that it gets. There are 2 sorters underneath, and I've got thermal dynamics, item ducts and fluid ducts and servos moving everything between from place to place.
Nice.
Except right here, like between the plant gatherer and the sludge refiner, I've got a flat liquid transfer node between the sludge refiner and the item interface. I've got a flat item transfer node. So the sludge refiner is attempting to deposit the items that it's generating into the system. I should add mycelium to the system, speaking of. And every now and then I come over and like clean it out so that it can keep generating more stuff. Hang on, I need to add podzol and mycelium to my generation storage system, which is just as simple as right-clicking into the new drawer to get things locked. Now, I've started working on EU power because we're planning on handing that in soon through thermal expansion fractioning stills feeding into biogenerators for ethanol. My throughput issue at the moment is producing enough plant balls for the fermenter, but that's why we built the mob farm, because this is going to produce the bones that are going to let me easily fertilize everything. Inside of here, you can see that I've got a 7x7 block of cursed earth, fully encased in stone brick, with a mob crusher that is handling that exact area. The mob crusher has a servo exporting to this chest, and this chest has a servo exporting to an item interface with a blacklist currently on sticks and bows, and exporting to a trash can with a blacklist currently with a whitelist currently on bows and sticks. So when bows or sticks come into the system, they get trashed, and everything else should be. Oh, I don't have carrots in my system yet. That's probably what's backing it up at the moment. So let me go add carrots and see if that's why nothing is coming out.
See, now I'm jealous. You're getting ender pearls.
Yes. That was pretty much the whole reason that I ended up switching over to this one.
Right.
And I wish there was a good way to see if things were flowing yet or not. But I don't know why it's backed up. I just finished setting this up a minute ago, so...
Do you have a place for glass bottles to go?
Thought I did. Yes, I do. Yep.
Do you have a place for feathers to go?
No. But I don't think that I would have had any feathers in there. Well, the only way that I know, unfortunately, to unplug it is to reset the whole thing. And I'm really just not sure how to do this better with what we currently have available to us. But this should There's no way for me to copy the bow and the stick blacklist now. Oh well. Get that going. Should be working. Sorry for needing to diagnose a problem. I don't know why it's become a problem now, but it's become a problem. Which I guess was inevitable. Yeah, these all have the upgrades in them, so none of that's backing up. Yeah, okay, I just saw something go through. I'll have to... Oh, you know, it might end up being redstone or iron. I might actually have to void upgrade all of these just to keep the mob spawner running. But on the other hand, it's not that big a deal because I got a gold chest there that's also collecting anything that comes out. So if I'm really desperate, I can move things by hand.
Right.
And eventually, maybe I'll have better tools and I'll fix this up. Or maybe I just won't ever care because, you know, I don't need to. It's also an option. I've even got a place for cobwebs to go because apparently spiders drop cobwebs. But yeah, that's pretty much it for new, is the bottom wiring layer and the resource generation. Everything else I've been just kind of doing by hand. I need to set up the empowerer and get the shock absorber ready and for hand in. And I think that I wanted to get it so that I could produce all of the EU that I need in an hour. But to do that, I need to get 26 of these biogenerators set up and then enough ethanol to feed them. And I'm hoping that I'll be able to do that once we have the next tier of redstone stuff without it being a huge... And once I can feed bone meal into a fertilizer for the actual additions without it being as much of an issue.
Right.
But yeah, I guess that's it. And if there's any thoughts or questions you care to share, feel free.
No, I like it. I'm a fan of the laser system. I've said it was powerful a long time ago, and then I keep ending up using like Ender IO cables or something. But I should have taken it as a chance to do this too. But yes.
And hey, now you've got the option to not in this pack, but there's a 1.12 option for Ender IO cables now.
Yes, there is.
Okay. All right. I guess next we're off to visit Finn and Belgabor's place because Silent is unfortunately unable to join us this week.
Blame
so
Belgabor.
Finn and Belgabor's base is unsurprisingly the most advanced, and I mean they've even got their own monitoring system for various fluids and energy. It looks like at the moment.
Yeah. We'll see why I did that in like the second one we get where the actual fluids are stored. Yeah. Did we have the tree farm? Did you start recording? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. This is just like the same thing you did. It's just a basic industrial foregoing tree farm with some solar panels. It's basically separately powered. Kind of like, if I have the possibility, I kind of like having a dedicated power for like things like this, like that work on their own.
Mm-hmm.
Over here we have the manual farms we already had at least part of last time. Not doing much with it at the moment. We'll see if we need to, but yeah, just harvest what we need at the moment, which is not much.
What's up with the netherrack prop support?
That's something I tested. It's from Pneumaticraft. I hoped it would work like the crop sticks from AgriCraft, but it's basically just enhancing the growth because you can't right-click the nether wart. Like you still have to left-click break it and replant it. Okay. And the crop sticks are just like growth enhancers.
Okay.
Which work very nice, but at the moment we don't have a need for them, so it's basically just a test bed for things like that, things I wasn't familiar with. This here is Finn's playground. He did all the Botania stuff. The only thing I added was like the catalyst down here with a switch to allow crafting with the mana pool depending on what you need. Yeah, not much to say here. Like, Ben, is something you want to say about this?
No, I mean, I just really enjoy Botania a lot, so I felt like getting started once I had the opportunity.
Makes sense.
Just really basic setup for automating the endo flames, a lever to turn it on and off, and then the hopper hawk up there is just to make sure that none of the items despawn, with an added benefit of picking up eggs because there's a chicken nearby. We have all of the eggs.
Unfortunately, they don't seem to be the chicken don't seem to be dropping feathers for you.
No, it doesn't.
No, I think that option is turned off. We're getting feathers from the mob grinder though, so that's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
What's
here in the
next?
middle, I've just set up some miscellaneous stuff. Set up an ender furnace, which is pretty fast, because I haven't invested that much in speeding up things yet. So I just crafted that one, and it's quite nice because it also uses the bigger stack system that most of the storage things in Ender Utilities does. So you can stack up to 1024 items in both input, output, and the fuel slot.
And your
Nice.
utilities being a mod that Seth and I haven't started yet, as I just got my first 8 ender pearls, and Seth just hasn't even got his mob farm generating enderman in a way he can use yet.
No, I've killed 1 enderman, and I have 1 enderman pearl sitting in
Yeah.
the chest somewhere.
This is why I'm like, we're not even playing the same game here, are we? You're so far spread out into other stuff.
Since we talked about doing the RF gold soon, I was just investigating in ways we have access to. We can store RF, and the only thing I found that was mostly reasonable was going directly into the flux system, and that's what I did. So we have like 128 million RF storage at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just have some random stuff in the middle of my base here. Our gargantuan flux storage with 128 million RF in it, and
Yeah. And all of your power is done wirelessly now with thanks to extra utilities.
Not all. Like it's still a bit not much of a pain, but the gargantuan storage is like, I'll show you downstairs how I crafted that thing, because I actually set up a crafter for it, because it's just like a lot of recursive crafting.
Yeah, especially with the needing to throw redstone in fire or lava.
Yeah. I mean, that actually goes really fast if you just like stand next to it and chug in a couple of stacks. But yeah, you need a lot of that stuff to craft that thing and everything in the mod. So yeah, I think these things we had already. This is the remnant of our original resource generation. It's currently doing our power because I was waiting for silver to get different power going, and I just extended it a bit with the RF tools generators and switched to coal because they don't use the charcoal blocks. And here I've let this resource generator stand just for on demand. If we need something, we can just stick it in and have it produce whatever we need.
Makes sense.
This is pretty similar to what you just showed. It's basically the same setup, only without the item lasers for now. Just using
For now.
the item ducts. Yeah, I'll have to think how I want to do it, or if I want to move it again downstairs. But for now, that's it.
You could pretty easily hide the entire generation system and just have like the lasers come up into the back of the drawers.
True. But if you want to be really, really hoarding, like I've already replaced some of the drawers with the black hole units from Industrial Foregoing because things were going back up. Then at this point, they're not. Once you have a decent supply of ender pearls, they're actually fairly easy to get. So.
Mhm.
And there's even a new thing that wasn't in Mindfactory Reloaded. It's called the Black Hole Controller, which isn't quite as good as the Storage Drawer Controller. It's just a block where you can stick in 9 of these black hole units, and you can access like everything in them from it. So
Okay.
it's basically a more compact version of the black holes.
It's the black hole storage.
Yes, yes. Yeah. But yeah, I need to replace these item ducts with something probably similar to you, because you see some of them are backstocked. I think I've resolved all the single backstuff issues with upgrading the drawers or the black hole units. Yeah, but the servers currently block if one of the things is full and it doesn't continue the other, even if that would work. So yeah, that's something that needs to be fixed eventually.
I think that actually, hang on a moment. Once you have Signal them, you'll be all set.
Yeah.
Because those servos will extract from multiple slots.
Which I think we should be able to make now, but I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, once we hand in the next thing. Yeah, here's just the energy generation.
Yeah, Signalum is just silver. You'll be all set. Yep, RF tools, coal generators. I switched over to those as well after you told me about them.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty much energy generation in this pack is something that you only go complicated with for the fun of it.
Yes.
Yes.
Indeed. There's a couple of plans we'll get to, but let's go down first. This here is the elevator block.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't know Ender Utilities had one of those. That makes me really happy.
Yeah, the thing is, which we will see in later, is they also go horizontally, so it doesn't have to be exactly above one each other.
Oh, that's a little bit better than the elevator mod ones then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, the elevators work 256 vertically, so you can just go from there down to, like, it's 2 hops down. You got a slime next to your ender portal.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
You've got a slime chunk over here? That seems like a horrid oversight on the part of the map makers.
Yeah, it made things a lot easier initially.
I bet.
Yeah.
But it's also cost me my life twice.
Yeah. So this is still our collection of random machines, which I added a few to, like a builder to make platforms easier, centrifugal separator to get our blaze powder, several crafters to make some of the recursive crafting things easier. Like the one here in the middle, that's what crafted the gargantuan flux storage. Yeah. And and I put it in a sign, so if I want another one, I know exactly what I have to stick in for it to craft another one. And you see, like, flux, like the stuff you have to make by throwing it into the redstone, you need 30 stacks and a bit to make one of these. So the other is just random, like, oh yeah, they are real extractors. We'll get to them soon. Over here is our mob farm. And that's sometimes it resets, so I don't know what's going on with the screen.
Somebody was right-clicking it.
It's a bit buggy, like the big one. So I'll put it on the smallest one and leave it at that. Yeah. Crusher. Okay.
Yeah, it's a good. That's definitely some of the sort of upgrade I was considering for the mob farm that I've got going, and it looks like you've done the same 7x7 of
yes,
Cursed Earth.
Yes, exactly, because that's the default range of the industrial foregoing things.
It's the only range. Can't add ranged upgrades to those.
I haven't tried, but technically you don't really need more, so...
Yeah. Unless you really want massive throughput.
Yeah, no, I think it's fine. I also added a slaughter factory to make pink slime,
which covers the same area. Cool.
which covers the same area from the other side. Yeah, and I plan to extending it with mob grinding stuff because we need that, as far as I've seen, to get heads for the spawn eggs that we need for the nether mobs.
Yep.
Here I've started a bit with pneumatic craft, just in preparation for when we get the Amadron tablet, which needs to be refilled. At least it used to be. Yeah, it's just a basic generator, pressure chamber.
I need to
charging
put like
station for the tablet.
another 30 hours into this pack over the next week.
Yeah, my audience, anything you see here, just count that as already, like available for me to do between episodes.
Yeah, back here is our lava generation, which uses industrial craft because I conceptualized this before we had access, before we decided to go with coal the last time. And the industrial craft pump was the only way I found that could work with the lava generator. Because all other pumps try to be clever and replace lava with cobblestone, which makes the lava generator stop working.
Yep.
And the IC2 pump doesn't, so that's why I hadn't mentally switched over to it yet. So I still build like this. And yeah, it's just storing it for now, in case we need it. Here is the
In case you need
Editions
4,000
Empower
buckets.
setup. Not much to say about it. It's just something you have to craft. You have to power the outer 4 things. The middle you don't have, and it's like basically like Thaumcraft. You stick in stuff, and it does its magic thing.
Yeah, that's pretty much my very next episode.
Nothing has, I believe, changed here in the IC2 stuff.
The recycler is new.
Yeah, the recycler, we made a recycler, just...
The scrap
for the heck
boxes are
of it.
supposed to be set up so that they don't function very well these days.
Yeah, they've nerfed them.
Yeah, Finn opened a lot of them to get the things that we actually wanted out of them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the wooden chest upstairs in the middle, right next to the ender furnace, is actually all things that we got out of scrap boxes. We mostly decided not to use them for fun reasons.
Right. So even at 50% wooden hose, you still went through a ton of them, huh? Or you did it before that
Yes.
was changed?
Oh no, it's been 50% wooden hose the whole time. I just put the wooden hose back into the recycler.
Yes, you have these back and try again. Yeah.
The scrap boxes have been made mostly out of wooden hose and bows.
I'm looking at the
Okay.
use on them, and they've got it's 49.7% wooden hoe and 0.01% anything else.
Yeah. Okay, so for the last thing, let's get to the end of the platform. Over there, that's just like weatherproof stuff. That's what I used to make the first batch of compressed iron for pneumatic craft. There's not really something behind this block. And here's another elevator. If you go up, you go to the island.
That's weird. Oh,
Yeah, it's
because
like one block up.
it's like one or two blocks up. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is where our power generation is going to be once we have the silver to actually make it work. I decided to do something different. So what we're doing is probably that should demonstrate that here. Yeah, we can do it here. Yeah, like here, all the trees go 2 blocks into the floor. If you step up,
Hang on.
I'll,
Sorry.
I think it's easier to see. Yeah.
Yeah.
All of the trees go 2 steps into the floor and have arboreal extractors around them. Like not
Go on.
all of them, like 3 of them for now, but eventually all of them will.
So you're going for naphtha then?
tree oil, yeah.
Naphtha is from
From coal.
oil.
Oh,
Oil and coal
I
and those
right.
things, yeah.
thought
Yeah,
there
you
was something
see
you
if you
could do
come
with tree oil.
downstairs.
Sorry,
You
I thought
use-
there was a way to refine the tree oil, but yeah.
Yeah, you have to. You actually get resin from the trees, and you have to refine that into tree oil, which is what you can burn. That's what we're doing here.
Mhm.
And I had this all set up until I discovered that all the dynamos require silver, so that's where I stopped.
Don't worry,
Um,
you with your 25,000 buckets of resin, you'll probably be good for a while, and your 4,000 buckets of tree oil.
Yeah, I haven't extended it yet because I want to see how it
Extended.
flows. And I want to see how much we actually need and what it can power. So that's why I've been not going overboard on setting everything up yet. So
Yeah,
But
not going
eventually-
overboard. Not at all.
Well, no, that's just making use of the fact that it's a server running 24/7 with chunk loading.
Yeah, I know.
So, it gets.
this is temporarily set up because I, for the mob farm over there, I ran out of sites that I wanted to use, so I used the extra utilities power transfer. So I had to
Mhm.
generate some XU GP, and I just stuck it here because that's what seemed most appropriate right now. But that's going to be somewhere else eventually.
Right. Well, thanks for
Excellent.
showing us around and giving us some ideas on what Saf and I can eventually accomplish if we put in the time and effort.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't really show off like the mob grinder in the Nether, but it's basically the same as this one, just slightly
Yeah.
less useful.
Yeah, I don't think we even used it. I just used it to get a couple of magma cream and then
Yeah.
turn it off. And since we haven't really had any use for it,
Yeah, it was pretty much just for the magma cream.
essentially I might
Where are
move it
your,
to the.
Where are your spare Britannia flowers?
In the golden chest here.
Should be.
Excellent. Wait, where are your mob drops?
They're downstairs. That's
We haven't combined everything yet.
yeah. Like here, it's a bunch of drawers here on the side, and
Has to be done. You know it has to be done.
I
Yes,
see.
I know it has to be done. I know exactly what you're doing.
Aw, I thought I could get. Oh wait, no, that's enough. And wait, you don't have your tree farm was over somewhere. It's downstairs, isn't it?
No, it's upstairs. It's over here.
yeah,
Oh, it's just tiny right now. That's what's throwing me off.
yeah.
You just showed it to me, and I forgot where it existed already. There we go. That's better.
Yep, I knew that's what was happening.
I
I'm
used up
fine
one
with
of your.
this.
I used up one of your green flowers to do this.
We have spares, and we can always make more.
Mhm.
The nice thing about Britannia these days is that you can just plant a petal and then bone meal it to get a 212 flower of whatever that color is.
Yep.
Yes, which is pretty nice.
That
And then
makes
you
it so
can't-
much easier.
Can't you just shear off the top of those as well?
I don't know about shearing off the top. I think you have to shear the whole thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
but still. When you have infinite bone meal, it makes it pretty simple. Okay. How do you put things on the side of a box again?
It's P by default.
There we go. I accidentally grabbed your iron hoe.
Well,
Ah.
I think our this particular episode is going to be a little long.
We've been shown up here. I think it's time to go and work on our bases and try to feel better about ourselves.
Yes, I need to leave here before I get any more jealous.
Bye. Thanks for showing us
Bye.
around.